Welcome everybody to my channel. Here I do intuitive tarot videos and sometimes read energy. Today we are doing a pick a card. We have 3 groups for you to choose from. The theme of today's pick a card is going to be who's in your energy. So group 1, we have the Frankincense essential oil. Group 2, we have the Peppermint essential oil. And group 3, we have the Lavender essential oil. So timestamps are in the description box so that you can jump ahead to whichever group that you choose. Feel free to pause the video and take a moment. If that's what you need to do, do you. These videos are timeless, so it does not matter when you come across this video, whether that's like in 2 years' time from the time it's posted. It should be relevant for you when you find it. That being said, we will get started with group 1. Okay, welcome group 1. If you chose the Frankincense essential oil, then this will be your reading, your intuitive tarot pick a card reading for today. So this is a kind of fun energy, but I was getting a message while I was pulling these first cards of like sticky hands and sticky situations. So just take from that what resonates, as always. So just a couple of zodiacs that I see. We do have Leo and Gemini here. Don't worry if you don't have those placements. It's just for the people that do. It's like extra confirmation, and we will move on. So I did write down a couple of like channel messages before starting today's reading. So who's in your energy? I had 3 people listed out, and so I did have one person who seems to be in competition with you, potentially has like a background history or hidden feelings of jealousy, might get under their skin from time to time. This person seems to be a friend. We have a second person here who I was getting the words harmonious acquisition, where this person would put on like a very good front, like everything's very legitimate, very transparent, very smooth in operation, expectations set are clear, but there is a little bit of like some sort of hidden agenda or a little bit of like an insidious energy beneath the surface there. And so it's hard to say like the level of how insidious that is really, whether that is a person just trying to make something go in their favor. If they can guide it to do so would be great. But we also have a third person here. I was getting the words take me home, and this felt like a very heartwarming energy, but it also felt like a person you would feel a kindred type of energy with. And this person may feel like home or may provide you with a sense of belonging in some way. So just take what resonates there. So this is who's in your energy. We currently have 3 people. We've just kind of listed out some of the scenarios, and I do feel the need to talk about the frankincense. So frankincense could be like an energetic reset, connection to like the soul star or the, I guess, like seat of the soul. So it could be like being in alignment and being connected with like an amplified, what is it, like receptivity with the universe. So the next thing that I want to look at is one of these people could be quite gracious, but they also would dominate in their field, whatever it is that they do. They could potentially be a leader of some type. They could be creative yet traditional at the same time. I do think there is something here with this person where they may never stop performing, or they may never stop putting across a curated image. As in, I get the feeling that you would actually never see what this person's like when they're at home alone. It's like that true inner self would never come out. You would only ever see the face that they wanted you to see, that they put forth to the world. I feel like they could dress really nice, or they could take the time to kind of like adorn themselves, or I don't know, is it like carefully curating the types of clothes and accessories that they would wear? Yeah. Okay, so the next person that we have here, this could be a person who has, it's almost like a clouded sense of judgment, even though they see things very, very clearly. I am getting that typical reference to a sibling, so just take what resonates there. So I think that this person could like actually have like a hawk's eye or a bird's eye view of something, or an aerial view, or they can see everything very clearly. But then there's like some type of internal change that they go through, or a shift in their energy that almost clouds any judgment that they make. It's almost as if this person sees things very clearly and then proceeds to make judgment calls or take action from from a very clouded place. But it's like, I'm not sure. It's a bit of a funny one. Okay, so we also have here that they could have a tendency to just kind of pick and choose what works for them. So I guess that could line up with that harmonious acquisition type of energy, where there's a very good front and that kind of agendaed background, or under the surface there. And then the very last person that we have here is a person... I wanted, like, typically when I look at the Four of Pentacles, I would get like wanting to hold on to things, or an insecurity, or potentially being guarded, or just not having a lot, like maybe like base needs met, but like there's not really enough for themselves, let alone other people, something like that. I think this person, it's like I get the energy that they're keeping something up their sleeves. So for all you know, this person could have like a fifth pentacle here, but they're not going to tell you that. They're not going to share what they have. They're not going to... I get the sense that, I don't know. But we've also got this heartwarming, belonging, feeling, kindred. It's just the look I have on this person's face. I wonder if this person likes you. I wonder, I just got the words like meal ticket. So I wonder if this person is like quite interested in you, if you have typically more than they do, or some type of abundance or something. So it's like this person has kind of just enough, but they see, I think they're already interested in you, and then they know what they have. And then it's kind of like, if they looked at everything that they could have, they could really make it work. But it's almost like it would just be like a bonus. I don't know if that's really even the right way to explain it. I wanted to see if I could get those energies that I channeled prior to stepping into the reading to match up with the cards. And I figured that we would just like make that happen as we went. And the more I look at this person, it's like they're giving me some type of look or stare that I can't work out what energy it is. I just think they see a really good opportunity. So yeah, okay, so we have like a little bit of, we've got a few different things here that have been kind of thrown out. 3 different people. Okay, so we did already talk about siblings. There could be potentially a father here. It could be a mother as well. So this seems like very family orientated. There could also just be people here that actually, I did, like we talked about how you could have more than them typically, or some type of abundance or something. There's like a person here who's like not quite as equipped as you are. They're not so built up. Maybe this person is really adept. I'm just talking about like reference to the Four of Pentacles person here. So this is that person that was like, you know, kind of had, it was like they were paying attention to and they're not really giving anything away. And I think that's more the energy that I'm picking up on, where it's like they do see you as a really good option. And we did hear the words meal ticket come through. But there's like, this could be a face that they put on, and there's like a whole lot of anxiety, stress, difficulties. Some of them could be having trouble sleeping. Some of them could have recently gone through a separation or something like that. So like not all of this is going to be family. Just take what resonates as I'm kind of going through it. I just heard that they need clarity, but it's like they might be looking at something from the wrong angle. And I just feel like this person could potentially have a bit more, they might be further along in different suits in the tarot. So like I kind of intuitively feel that they're a little bit more built up in like their wands and potentially water energy, mostly wands though. I would just say with the cups with that watery energy might be closer to like I don't know, like I want to say page or a knight. It's hard to say. Anyway, or they could be just on their part of their journey up. I'm not. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think they see there's like some type of new opportunity here. It's like they've somehow come to this conclusion. I think this is how they see you. They could see you as like a person who is very self-directed, self-governed, potentially like a sovereign being, potentially a bit of a wild card, or like revolutionary, rebellious, or very unique individual. You are kind of doing what you want. You are defining what you like. You're not worried about other people. You're kind of on your own little like exploration in life, and you're like just, I don't know, it's like enjoying yourself effortlessly, and just like, I don't know, it's like being so in the present moment and being focused on what you're doing. And I think that's one of these things this person likes. Like, I don't know, it's weird, right? Because we talked about how you could have more than they do. And when I look at the Fool card here, though, he only has that small bag that he's carrying, and it doesn't look like there's a lot, but they're dressed nicely. So what I would say is that it might not necessarily be in like a monetary, financial, or like material possession type of abundance. This could actually be like a health, or like your looks. So this person could think you're really good looking. And I don't know, if they've come out of a separation, it would explain why they're being a bit guarded. It could also explain that kind of very stressed or distressing energy that they could be in. And there also could be something here where it's like they might actually just be trying to play their cards right. So they still see you as a good option and stuff. But there is something here where it's like, when I say meal ticket, even if it's not the financial stuff, they might feel like you could give them some type of, you could be out of their league. And so if you are out of their league, they could feel like it's a step up or a step in the right direction for them to kind of be perceived differently to what they typically are. But they're definitely seeing this new opportunity. Yeah, they're really like watching for an opportunity, or they're wanting to make the most of it. If they give you something, I feel like it would be like, it would come off or be made out to be like a small token of appreciation. What I would also say is that it's maybe more the idea or the shared goal of some type of situation, like what we could have together, something like that. This is a bit weird because I don't know if I'm connecting this to a different energy than maybe like somebody else here in this group, or your own energy, because I do feel like when you talk to this person is actually probably quite genuine. So I just wonder if they're just not telling you everything. I just wonder if they're just keeping certain things to themselves. And that's kind of what I've been picking up on. It's just hard to kind of get all the way there. But again, they could be going through a time where maybe they don't have as much as they normally would. And so it could be kind of that them, I don't know if I'd say, I don't think they're in survival necessarily, but they could have been stripped of something here that they had. And if they weren't stripped of something, it's like they may have just lived with less than what they have, I guess, for some period of time or temporarily or something like that. And so they see you. And the other side of it is, if they haven't been stripped of anything or are going through a time where they have less, I feel like that definitely could be a blend as well, though. Is like they could just know that they've, I don't know, like they could feel internally like they just don't do well, or like they're maybe not like the first choice available when people are in the dating market or something like that. And so it's like they're extra careful to play their cards right, because they know that there's maybe like more attractive offers out there or something like that. So it is a little bit like of a, I don't even feel, it's so weird trying to explain this energy, because to me, that seems a bit strategic, but I don't think it is. I think they're kind of being realistic about the opportunity and trying to play their cards right. It really feels like they're trying to play their cards right with you. So I'm going to put this Fool card up here because I feel like that's kind of how they see you. Actually, you guys can't see that, so we'll place it over here, because then they're trying to give you this new opportunity, right? This new beginning, this new shared goal. So I would say this person probably doesn't have a lot to invest, but I think if they were going to invest something with somebody, they would like it to be you. And it may be painful for them to be in a time where they know that they don't have a lot that they can invest, okay? All right, so we'll keep going with the other two. Okay, so we had this person that has like the really clear view, but seems to come from a clouded place when they actually make some type of judgment call. It actually makes me think that there's something in this person's like internal systems or unconscious or subconscious kind of like way of navigating the world. It's like a belief system thing. Could have been conditioning from when they were a kid or growing up or something. Some type of, I don't know, it's like they have a distorted view on the world. So even though they see something very clearly for what it is, to the point that they may see things more clearly than others around them, they could be just very observant is what I want to say. I can't tell with this person how much of a situation, it's like their internal compass is like, needs to be I don't know, corrected. It's like something's off kilter, and then any judgment calls that they make are, because of that, it's kind of incorrect. So I would say that there's some type of dysfunction happening here, but it may be something that they're genuinely not aware of. It's hard to say. For some of these people, I was sort of getting it before, but not very strongly, and I try to stay away from the energy unless it's like very like obvious, or persistent in the way that it comes through. But it was almost like this same person could potentially be a person who likes to obscure the truth as well. So we'll take what resonates there. Now, I think they could also be going through a hard time in life. You guys, I just need to say who's in your energy. We obviously haven't looked at this like third last person here, and we're only part the way through number 2. I wonder if something's happened in your energy that is almost calling people back to you. I wonder, I don't know, is there like something happening in the transits? Is there, I don't know, is Uranus still in Taurus? Or has that changed? I'm not sure. I think it did. I don't know. We're just going to keep going, but something here could be like affecting your energy, where people are like either coming back into your life or they're thinking about you. You could actually kind of be there could be some type of like buzz around you as a person. So I don't know if you maybe have been like become sort of newly single, or if you've put up some type of like post on your socials where you're looking really good, or there's been some type of recognition for something that you've done. There's something here where it's like you're actually at the forefront of people's minds, because this last connection here that I'm looking at, where I'm trying to describe a person who like sees very clearly or is very observant, but comes from this kind of internally clouded or dysfunctional place where they like, if that I guess affects their judgment calls. They could potentially be a person who would obscure the truth a little bit as well to suit them. And being out in the cold, it does seem, I feel like this person is a person that I don't know how much you would be in contact with them. And if you are in contact with them, there could be an energy here of, I don't know, whether you are or not, it doesn't matter. It's like something hard has or is about to happen to this person. So whether they've like recently gone through a breakup or something, moving house could be on the cards for them if they haven't recently just moved, or there could be something threatening like their living situation. So they could be going between places. They could be having to live with people that they don't want to live, or there could be something here that's like affecting their ability to, I guess, lock down a secure accommodation on their own, where they're not kind of affected or subjected to other people in some way. So take what resonates there. I think this person, I just got the words that they effed up. So this person could think about you a lot. They could spend a lot of time thinking about you and the things that have happened. So for some of you, even if this person's not going through, I feel like they probably are experiencing some type of hardship, or some type of like big change that maybe, you know, before and after is not bad, but during the change is pretty hard to, like, difficult to manage in some way. This person's spending so much time thinking about you or something that happened, but like hearing that they effed up, it could just be a case that they've been kicked out of the connection. Like you ended the connection, you've left them behind, or you've shut off from them, or something like that. So take what resonates there. There's something here where I see there's like one truth that this person is laying on, like some type of a bed of, I was getting like the reference or analogy for like a bed of lies, but from what I see, there's like either one truth or one lie here that if it was exposed would kind of set it all straight. So I feel like in general, it's almost like they're contemplating all the truths of a situation, or all the truths that have been communicated in a situation. So it's like they're kind of still keeping something up their sleeves or behind them. This is a bit funny. We've got a couple people in this energy, hey. Not that it's exactly the same, but shared themes. So anyway, it's like this person's kind of contemplating how they can maintain this bed of lies, or this one truth that has, I don't know, this one thing that hasn't been shared or exposed, right? So, but overall they are feeling heartbroken. So I wonder if there's like, they almost think of a way that they could kind of break the truth to you, or let you down easy, or come clean in some sense, so that they don't have to spend so much time kind of dwelling on the situation or thinking into it so much, or planning. And it's almost like a mental preparation type of energy that I get from this person. So it's like they could spend quite a bit of time making sure they've got their ducks in a row for when they speak to different people or something like that, if it has to do with you. Or it could actually feel like this person, it could be just in general that they're kind of like this. So you might not be the only person, but this specifically is direct, like this is who's in your energy. So there's definitely been something between you, whether they're like this to other people or not, okay? And you seem to be a specific person that they're thinking a lot about. It's almost like that's probably part of why they're in your energy, is because they are thinking about you so much. And so it could be a wanting to recover from some type of perceived betrayal or hurt, or ending. I don't know if I'd say it's an ending. Could have been a breakup for some people, but because we do have like the Lovers and the Three of Swords here as well. Could have been a third party, but I don't really feel like that's the case. If it was, I think that this person regrets whatever this decision is, or whatever this. I think if they had their chance to do it again, I'm not saying that they would necessarily make a different decision because they grew integrity. I think that if they could be a fortune teller and tell how the action they chose to take was going to turn out the way that it did, they would have chosen differently. But it seems more from a point of what was good for them. And I just heard what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So that could be relevant here in your situation in some way. So some of you could be a little bit raw thinking about that person if they do come up. And there's also, like, so I did touch on it, could be a sibling, could be a friend, could be, I feel like it could have been a person that you have like some type of good connection with, even if you weren't super close. Hard to say. Yeah, anyway. Okay, so what else do we have? The Strength card. All right, so let's take a card for Strength. So the next person that we're building on or getting a bit more clarity on here is this person who is quite graceful, potentially like a bit of a leader or has leadership type qualities, and that they could dominate whatever field that they're in, but they also take time to kind of adorn themselves or make themselves beautiful or look the part in whatever way that they want to. Like, they're very intentional in how they put themselves across and how they present themselves to the world. And they were the person that I was kind of referencing, that you would probably not ever see this person's like version where they're not putting on some type of front for you. It's like they're keeping themselves just for them. So okay, but it seems like they spent time kind of curating their whole presentation or demeanor as well. All right, so this person could have felt forced out by you, which is a bit weird. Because I don't really feel like anything too much happened here. This person could have felt like they were biting their tongue for longer than, like, I don't know, if something happened here, even if it wasn't a blow up, it feels like it probably more of a smaller tiff or something. It could have felt a lot bigger to this person on the inside than what they let on, or what they communicated to, or what you noticed about them. And so it looks like they're kind of reevaluating, like, where they want to go, what they want to do, what their priorities are. And I think that this could be in terms of connections. It almost gives me a looking for a friend type of energy. And I think even though they felt like they needed to start again or forced out in some way, I think you do come up as an option, but you could potentially haunt them as an option because of the way that they felt about in this situation when they like moved away, or yeah, whatever that was that played out. And the thing is too, is that if you did enter back into some type of dynamic with them, I do think it would really only be like what would suit them, and if they could kind of get a leg up in some way. So like, this is, I don't know, it's a bit of a shame, right? Because hopefully it makes sense to you guys, because we had jealousy, friend, competition, and then what else did we have? We had the harmonious acquisition, which was a person kind of wanting to take over. And then we also had the person with the words referencing like take me home, for the heartwarming, belonging, kind of kindred. I actually wonder if that whole belonging feeling was not you feeling like a heartwarming or belonging or kindred sensation to this person, but how they would feel about you. Yeah. All right. That's, oh, we've got these two other cards that I forgot to pull out. Okay, so we also have Scorpio and the Sun as well, which could be like a double down on Leo. So we've got Leo, Gemini, we have Aquarius with Uranus. Okay, and the Three of Pentacles. All three of you could have known each other or been in connection if you felt that your energy came through potentially in one of these piles. Although I do feel like you as the viewer, for most of you, this is three separate people in your energy, because it's not, yeah, it's three separate people. And I mean, at least two of these people, you could have been in some type of like mutual connection or group connection. If not all of them, but just take what resonates there. So it's like, could have been some type of group that there was an ending for, like allowing an individuality and a true nature and like a happiness and an illumination to kind of come through. For some of you, it's like a continuation here of this person who's like graceful and has the leadership qualities and is a little bit dominant and felt forced out or chose to leave here, but is like reevaluating like what would really work for them in the future. And that person could have seen some type of networking beneficial energy, or like a working together. It could be a collaborative energy. This person actually wanted to work with you, potentially business-wise in some way, but they could either see you as a person who is too hard to deal with, too sensitive, or that you're actually not interested and you have long left this connection in the dust. So any or all of those could apply. But also, I think there is something here that when they think about you, there's actually something about your energy or your connection that did make them happy, even if they don't really want to admit it, or even at first glance in like a kind of shallow thinking about it. Maybe they don't give it too much credit, but they know that when you're around, they did feel quite happy in some way. Even if it was just like a shared joy in small moments. Yeah. And that could be part of why there's that haunting energy when they think of like, you know, where they go from here, like what their options are and what they want to prioritize. And even if this person never chooses to try to reestablish a connection here or make it work or come back from this, I think that there's like whatever this particular quality is that you had, I think not only do they want to choose to emanate this out to the world, but this could also be there was like maybe one favorite characteristic or quality that you embodied here that this person is actually going to, if they can't emanate it out or on top of as well, they would actually try to select future connections that embody the same kind of quality or characteristic that you did have. So, and I think there's something nostalgic and really meaningful about the energy here. There could have been a type of closeness, like a type of candid closeness that it was like nothing was too deep, where it was like you were kind of safe in that way for them to like really come out with things that they're not used to being able to come out with to other people as well. And so that could actually have something to do with that quality. Yeah, I'm starting to get the shivers, like the goosebumps, so chills, whatever you want to call it. There's something here where I think they just can't tell. There's something about your nature where they can't tell whether you're kind of like, I think they know that you're good, but I think there's something here about you, the way that you come off, that could potentially catch them off guard in a really powerful way, where they like weren't expecting some sort of reaction, they weren't expecting some type of decision that you made, or they could be something, it's like something about you, it's like a personality trait that may be innate to you, where they can't tell if it's like healthy or a little bit poisonous or something. So I just think this is like who's in your energy, and we're kind of getting some of like the why they're in your energy, because they have all these highlighted moments that seem to be really meaningful. It's weird, because I think this person could really come off surface level, and they would be the type of person that's like, it's just not that deep, right? But then when they really think about it, it's kind of actually that deep for them. I think for both of you, you could have had like you could have shared meaningful moments in your connection, even if they were few and far between. Hence why it could come off in that surface level energy. Yeah. So even if you didn't have super happy, like kind of moments that were the favorite, although I feel like there could have been a couple, there could have been quite like meaningful moments as well, even if there was very small and very few and far between. Yeah. Okay, guys. Thanks everybody for joining me for this one. This was a lot clearer than some of the ones that we've been previously having come out. I've been trying to do what I can to make sure the energy is clear and grounded, and holding a space in which the messages can come through in that way. And it seems to be helpful. So hopefully this resonated for you. If this did, definitely like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. Yeah, I don't know, feel free to share your experience in the comments, and I'll catch you all in another one. Take care. Okay, welcome in group 2. If you chose the peppermint essential oil, then this will be your reading today for who is in your energy. And I did have a couple of channeled messages that I wrote down before starting today. The first one that I got was, this would be the group of people that are leaving people in the dust, or you have people feeling that way right now. You would be going your own way, a little bit trailblazer energy, or there could be even a sense of, if you are moving in some way, moving on, or you could be moving somewhere different. You could be traveling, you could be moving towns. It's any of those. Just only take what resonates and leave the rest. Don't try to make anything fit with this. But they could be trying to hold on. So even if it's just like simple things, you might not actually be so aware of the fact they're trying to hold on, whereas others, I think it's quite like obvious that they're doing that. Now, in this group, we could have someone that you've cut off, or you've let some distance kind of, I don't know, maybe you didn't necessarily let it happen on purpose, but maybe you could have grown apart, or some distance could have happened some way. I guess if you moved out, or maybe you moved in with a person, and then it was like this weird personal distance sort of grew in your connection, where you grew apart. Maybe you used to be closer than what you are, what you once were. And there's something here about like you could have potentially been having a bit of a values check, and maybe your values are different now, or they no longer align, or maybe you're realizing that it was always that way. This would also be the group where you're potentially prioritizing and being very protective of your time, energy, and resources. And if you didn't always come off, I don't know, if that wasn't always like a thing for you, this could be a new thing for you. But it's not just like a flippant moodiness. This is how I feel right now because something's like annoyed me. This seems like a transformational. I'm seeing like the death card for Scorpio. So like that very transformational energy where it's like, no, I've actually changed as a person and this is part of who I am now. So there's something there. And it's like, there's actually, not to speak on Scorpio, but just a different energy I'm getting come through is that this person it doesn't seem or appear like that's going to change about them, if that makes sense. So it's not just a moodiness, it's not just a phase, it's like a new way of life for this person. Now, I'm actually going to be using the Stranger Things deck, but when I was kind of picking up the deck of cards and moving them, I did get the Page of Wands at the bottom of the Rider-Waite. And when I was having a look at it, and I've seen the Page of Wands here, and I was getting that whole trailblazer, leaving people in the dust. So it's very representative of how you could be moving on in some way. You could be traveling, you could be going overseas, you could be on some type of new journey, or just that like moving on energy. It's very much a moving on energy. Anyway, and so it was like, who's in your energy is the people that there is some type of separation or distance in here, or they are people trying to hold on to a connection, or you may have let go of them, or you're just not as close as you used to be. You've grown apart. So now that that's said, we're going to move. I do feel like for some of you, there could be just like a prioritizing yourself and your own values or passions or something, or like you could be really motivated, and part of like your motivation or determination, it's like whatever it is that you've chosen to go after here, it's just like this other stuff doesn't matter so much anymore. And it's like you can kind of take it or leave it, but it's like it's not in the direction you're heading. So it's like not so personal. Some of these people it is, and you could have like a little bit of like a bone, not a bone to pick. It's just like a little bit of like an animosity or something with some of them. But I feel for the most part, you guys are just focused on yourself, what you want and going after, and just like it's very focused. And it's like you might not even know how you're going to get there, but you're just going to give it a go and see what happens. And it'll probably be an adventure. Like I was going to say, the adventure of a lifetime. So it could be that level for some people here. Anyway, and when I was shuffling the Stranger Things deck, I don't know if like I generally try to start my timestamps from once I've got like the first couple cards out and got a gist of like where it's going to go. I do it very flippantly, so it's not always so fluid, but you obviously don't see the shuffle leading up to it, but you can rewind if you needed to go back. If you, I don't know, some people just like to see shuffling because it's like they know that it's not all kind of planned out. And I know there are some videos, I feel the need to address this, right? It's not just me freely talking for the sake of it. I do have some videos where, I don't know, if there's like an abnormally loud noise or something that happens or whatever, I might like have jump cuts in the video or something, like if there's a person knocking on the door or something like that. So you're going to notice over time there are certain videos where I have little cuts in the video that have been edited so that I can kind of get on or get back to where I was meant to go. Anyway, that out of the way, when I was shuffling the Stranger Things deck, I did actually normally I take cards pretty quickly, just sort of like whatever jumps out or pops out. And I felt like everything coming out I was like not interested in, or it was like not what I didn't connect to it, or it didn't feel right or something like that. I just felt like I was kind of shuffling through a pile of people. So for this group, it could speak to lots of people being in your energy, because especially if you have like moved away, or you are going away, or you've like had some sort of change in priorities or something, you've got like this new focus or this new drive. And you're like, I don't know, it's a very self-focused energy. It's like, this is what I want, this is where I'm going, catch you later. And that means it could be like a whole group of friends. It could be most people that you talk to if you were like in your day-to-day, whatever that looks like, part of organizations, anything. Could be lots of people. And I think the thing is here is that people like you too. Like there's something here where it's like they don't just like you because you're just like a nice, polite person. They like genuinely just like who you are. They kind of, if you're a little bit sassy at times, they like the sassiness. If you, I think for some of them, you could be like an attractive person. They like your style. They like the things that you like. You could be really interesting. You could be like a really passion-driven person. And so it's like, they know that whatever you're onto is like the good thing, right? Stuff like that. Anyway, so moving on, and we've got the Four of Strands. And so this could be, yeah, there could be some ex or something. I don't know. It might not be an ex. You could have like moved out. So you could have like left roommates in the dust. You could have like separated from an ex-partner. It could represent, well, we've also got like the Page of Cups here. So I feel like there's still a lot of feelings around this. This can also be like a traditional wedding or like a life, I don't know, like a milestone event that's representative of a coming together and a being together for the long term. So could have been a person that you're married to, but it also could just be someone from the family home, family in general, people that you've known for a very long time. So if this is a change up and this is not something that you've really done before, people could be seeing you in a really different energy or a really different light. Like if something in you has changed, and all that change is like got these people kind of in their feels a little bit or paying attention, or they could be feeling a bit nostalgic about the way that things used to be as well. So just take what resonates there. I think there could be also something here about like you choosing you and putting the focus on you and maybe not being so giving or not being so stable for other people. Like you're kind of forcing them to do that for themselves, and instead of you doing it for them and them kind of just having a bit of a free ride. I don't know, it's not a free ride. It's like a complacency in the energy because they just expect you to continually show up the way that you always have and never change and never do anything for yourself. So it's like this self-focused, self-directed energy. I know what I want. I'm going after it. And these people could kind of feel a bit let down. Like, hang on, like, where are you going? I thought we like had a deal here that like every time I call you, you would like, you know, answer and be there for me and be supportive and soothe me or something. And it might not be that exact example, but that's kind of the like analogy for the type of energy I'm getting coming through, where people are a little bit caught off guard. They expected you to be there or be a certain way, and you've kind of pulled your energy back or you're focused on yourself, and they really wanted that old dynamic to continue. And I think to them it felt like home, to them it felt traditional, to them it felt like the way things always were or the done thing. Or you could have actually been a person who gave them a real sense or feeling of comfort and support. And I don't know, it only takes those like one or two good people in your life that are there anytime you ring them, that will have your back, try to help you, or even if they can't do anything to help you, to just be there. That's kind of the feeling that I get, is that you were that for these people, and now you're just like, you're suddenly not available. So even if you haven't like actually exited out of connection with these people, you just being focused on yourself and having priorities and other things that you're chasing or going after in some way, it's like these people like, oh, well, I used to just call this person, but, you know, now they're like off in their own world or doing their own thing or chasing this or doing that. And you're like self-focused. You're like, you could just be out living or just having fun. Like you could have decided that your routine needs to switch up, and all of a sudden, I don't really want to sit around and like wait for that phone call, or I don't want to do the routine thing anymore. I want to go do something different. Yeah. Anyway, so I do want to touch on like the peppermint here. So peppermint is quite grounding, can be protective as well, very grounding. I like when I read the bottle, it says that it's support for ache, focus, and clearing, which it really seems like, you know, we talked about focus a lot here. And it can be a clearing energy when you just leave things behind, because all of a sudden you are not carrying these things into the future with you. And those old things could have been things that caused a bit of an ache, even if it is obviously not physical, but like in the sense of maybe these connections were a bit painful, even if, I don't know, does that resonate for you? Just take what resonates. I don't know. Could have been like, you know, sometimes you get like an annoying dull ache. I kind of get that feeling, like it's maybe not so serious, not such a big deal, but you're like, there's got to be more to life. I'm not sure if that's the case or not. And the thing is too, is that I don't even really feel these people, you could be coming off insensitive, but I actually don't feel like you are an insensitive person. I think that these people have just had it. They've been quite comfortable or complacent for a while, and now, and I think there's something here to highlight that how much they relied on you in some way, where maybe you were like the go-to person for the support or something. So maybe they were like really happy giving different better parts of their relationship or connection or friendship or whatever it was to other people, but then they always came to you when there was a problem or something like that. So it's kind of like you were the backbone in some way. And it's kind of like I think you leaving or you being busy or focused on something else has kind of highlighted to these people that maybe the people they have surrounded themselves with over this period of time are not people that can do the same for them as what you did. And it's really highlighting your value here. It's like a high value, okay? And so there's something here that speaks about now, well, maybe at this point in time, they're a little bit in their feels and they're protecting their ego, and they kind of need that grounding sense of a reality check, and that's what it's very much giving them. Sometimes when you're like a energetically ungrounded person, it can be a little bit overwhelming to become grounded again. Other times it's really lovely. It depends on the day of the week and who you are and what's happening, right? So there's no like judgment or anything or connotation here. But to these people, it could have been a bit of a shock, or it could have been a little bit overwhelming, or they could have really felt like they'd lost their bearings in some way. And yeah, it does feel like a bit of a reality check. And so now I think it's making them consider the connections that are worthwhile kind of protecting. And yeah, that's like that transmutation of the energy. So I do feel like these people are more than capable of doing that. It's just that it could be too soon. This could be too new for them, or maybe they haven't quite felt the brunt of it yet. So maybe the movements happen here with you, with whatever you're doing, but like maybe the situation is like they haven't had that check yet. So if they either have, or it's like coming in for them. Different timelines for different people, just to clarify that. Okay, do we need any more cards? One. I'm going to shuffle. I just feel the need to say, for some of you, I feel like you could be like dressed in your best gear. And for some of you, there's something here about, I don't know how to connect this, but I just see a person putting on like brand new runners that are like the top of the line, best of the best. They could be like some cool, I don't know, style, or like bright colors, or they're like really fast and built for speed kind of like energy. So it's like I see you like purchasing the best of the best, most expensive runners that are everything you want them to be, and they're like all that. And you're like putting your shoes on, lacing them up, and you're like ready to take off. So it could even be the fact that people know that you're about to go as well, okay? And there could be something here about like maybe they haven't seen you prioritize yourself like that before. And so that to them is like a bit of a change up in the energy. And they're like, hang on, you never needed that. So I didn't think I needed to give you that. And now you're giving that to yourself. Like, what can I give you now? Because you've already given it to yourself. So it's like whatever they saw, whatever value they thought they could offer you before that they didn't, because they didn't think it was necessary. It's like now all of a sudden they'd be willing to give it to you. But like, does what they want to give to you hold any weight anyway, because you have done it for yourself? So it's like a little bit of, you can see how this person or these people, as we did talk about, there could be a lot of people here that kind of fit into this category for you for something that's happened or is happening. Could very much be in their feels, right? Anyway, and so what else do we have here? Yeah, we even have the moon. So feelings on tap or off tap, but also there could be like one particular person that is really like peed off, and this one particular person could, I don't know if they're popular or if you have lots of mutual friends, or it's like the people that they have in tow have only ever really been exposed to their side of the story, which means with the moon here can speak of like hidden things. It could speak of delusions or illusions. It could speak of that very emotional energy, like undercurrent type of stuff. But it's like, I kind of think that when things happen of under the moon, of like nightfall, nighttime, that, you know, there are nights where the sky is quite lit up from the moon and you can see, but you really see things that move in the shadows. Like, you don't really see things that move in the shadows, but you can see shadows very obviously. And sometimes it's like you lack color and you lack a little bit of like detail and clarity, and things can be a bit harder to see from a little bit of a distance and whatnot. So there's something here where it's like these other people may not have been able to see the full story. But they could also be clouded in, like, it's that being in the feelings. So there could be something here that they don't recognize about your situation either, as to like what was happening under the surface at the time that has been a catalyst or led up to this like change up, where it seems to be unrecognizable for them, that like they're not used to you being this way. It's like there could have been something happening for a long time under the surface that, yeah, they didn't understand. It wasn't obvious to them and it wasn't illuminated to them. So I don't know if you were purposely keeping things hidden. I don't feel like that's the case at all. I feel like it was things that they couldn't see from their point of view. Something like that. They might not have thought it was that big a deal. Anyway, that's everything that I have for you today, Group 2. Thank you for joining me. If this resonated and you enjoy it, definitely like, comment, subscribe, all the good things, and I'll see you in another one. Take care. Okay, welcome in Group 3. If you chose the Lavender Essential Oil, then this will be your reading today for who is in your energy. And I was getting a song at the start of this. It was from the Netflix show 13 Reasons Why. And it was that night we met. So they're like, take me back to the night we met. It was a really lovely song. And I'm just going to read out the cards. So we have your presence is a gift to others. Death moves among us. We have the 3 of Pentacles, Page of Cups, Page of Wands, and the 4 of Wands. And I did get a channeled message that I kind of wrote down before starting into today's reading. And it was like, this would be the group. So the people that are in your energy are people that get triggered from some type of truth that you represent or have told. But we also have an ex's current in here that could, I don't know, it's hard to tell because it could be either or, it could be both, where it's like they're either jealous or they're just keeping an eye out, like they're just keeping tabs. Anyway, so I do get the energy of feeling like you're being watched or listened to, and if that's the case, that would resonate a lot with that ex's current. And if this is not particularly like a romantic ex, it could be like an ex friend, but it's like their new friend is like a little bit insecure in the friendship and hears a lot about you, or knows there was a lot of history, like rich history or something like that. And so it could be like their current person who's kind of taken up the old space that you used to hold, that is actually like, yeah, I guess paying attention. So not all of them are like jealous, but some of them I think are also trying to just work out the situation, maybe for what it was, or understand their current friend's point of view or something like that. Anyway, so yeah, I feel like this group very much could be like the truth tellers, but that whole comment about having people triggered just from the truth that you represent. So you might not even necessarily be people that are out there saying things that people don't want to hear. You could actually just be people that, by living in your truth, has people around you triggered, because let's be real, not a lot of people are. So it's like, this is something that you teach other people. It's like a gift that you give them. It's a way that you bring people together. You could be quite integrated in those sort of light and darker sides of yourself. And because you're integrated, you kind of understand it. You could be a person that has like a very strong 8th house. You could have strong Scorpio, Cancer placements, even Pisces here as well. So strong water elements. You could have like a prominent moon position in your astrological chart, or you could be like a moon dominant person if you like in terms of nakshatras as well. But there's, well, I guess in any chart it doesn't have to be that, but that did seem to be a strong call as well. But there's something here where it's like you could be a person very comfortable in the uncomfortable, taboo topic situations, things that people don't want to talk about. It's like you will have the discussion that nobody wants to have the discussion about. Those, you know, those topics that really make people uncomfortable. And it's, I kind of, for some of you, you may feel like you live there, or other people may see you as a person who can kind of go there and as if you live there, even if that doesn't really feel resonant for you. And so they could see you as like a communicator. It's like you're able to communicate these things. So this would be like also prominent Lilith placements as well. You could also have like a Lilith and a moon sharing the same house, or like a Lilith in an 8th house, or a moon in an 8th house, or yeah, anything, something like that. Okay, so now that we've got that out of the way, lavender is like a quite a protective and a very softly grounding essential oil. And so there's something here that I feel like you would come off quite protected, and you could have a protective energy towards others. And it is something about this like truth that you expose or represent to the world. I think there's something here where it's because you like are living in your truth or speaking the truth. It acts like an umbrella that shelters people from the rain. It's like you're sheltering people from conditioning, you're sheltering people from people pleasing, from like just going along with things. It's like it's okay to sometimes make other, you know, like not be out there trying to make sure everyone's comfortable and not live in your truth, if that makes sense. So there is something here where the ages, the numbers 25 and 29 could be resonant for you. But there's also something here where you could represent this to a community, to a group of people, or you could have like multiple specific connections where this energy is kind of happening. Where, yeah, so it's that, what is it, that truth, that representative truth energy that has people triggered. I just had a card fall off the deck, which is Knight of Wands, which is representative of Sagittarius. And it's in reverse. I don't think we need to keep it in reverse. It could just be like representative of one of these people. I'm just getting the words envy. I think it's I mean, this could speak for everybody here that's in your energy, right? Because if you're living in your truth or speaking truth, a lot of people could have envy for not having come that far yet. They don't yet feel comfortable to do it. So they're kind of looking at you and have this envy because you can do it. They want to be able to do it. They see how, I don't know, how you just embody this, right? Yeah, and I think you do have other people in your fields, and there's something here where it's like the level in which you impact other people, and there's like a flow-on effect through the connections that you have or the community that you're surrounded by, where they wish that they could make this much of an impact as what you do. And I think you do it effortlessly without trying. You're not out there trying to get attention. It's just you living your truth does this. So they're paying attention anyway. But I do also feel that that would be relevant for this ex's current sort of situation, where there is some type of envy in that, again, impact or level of weight that you held or represent in the history that that old connection had. Okay. Where you could have, it could have been husband, wife, it could have been the, at the time, forever person, the one, it could have been just a very long-term person, you could have been like the favorite, it could have been like a connection like no other, so it can't really be compared to in some way. And the funny thing about it is that whoever this person is, there could have been some type of like being opportunistic in trying to take steps that are advantageous for themselves towards the current, or just in general. There's going to be all different situations here, but maybe even people that were somehow still looking for something externally outside of your connection, even if there was no other people involved, and it could have just been passion projects and what they want in life, but just that sense of looking for something else outside of the connection or outside of your, you know, day-to-day routines. But it's like, I think being in the new connection, they themselves are also looking back, and I think they're seeing a whole nother depth or level or layer to you that I think they thought that was kind of consistent in most people, because this person might not have had many serious heartfelt or close connections the way that you guys were. So they kind of took it for granted. Now that they're not so close to you and they're in this new relationship or connection, it seems like the contrast here is quite deep. Yeah. Okay, group 3, that's actually everything that I have for you for today's reading. So who is in your energy? Definitely an ex, and the ex is current. And if it's not a romantic connection, I feel like it's both. You know, I feel like there's an ex and like maybe an old friend or old best friend, and the current for like the new friend or the new partner. But there's also a community or a group of people here that have been impacted, whether I feel like they know each other. So take what resonates there. Hopefully this is helpful to you in some way, and insightful. If this resonated, definitely subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more of this content. Like and comment, all the good things. I'll see you in another one. Take care.